Wes and Kim Funk had always hoped for children, but doctors told them it was impossible. But after years of prayer, Kimberly became pregnant with what doctors called miracle twins.
It was very exciting. I was probably the most gleeful dad. Here we are being blessed with children, the opportunity to have twins.
It was kind of a tough pregnancy. I was sick a lot, but it was such a blessing to be pregnant that, you didn't want to focus on all the negatives. So every week was just such a blessing. We're that much closer.
On July 17, 1994, Kim gave birth to two twin boys, Kyle and Corey. Although they were 6 weeks premature, the boys were healthy.
I have absolutely no recollection of my babies being born. And there were signs there that I was going downhill. It's just no one had diagnosed what's going on yet.
Just days later, Kim suddenly had severe abdominal pain.
The next day, Kim was kind of delirious, and it alarmed me, and I would question the nurses and doctors.
Kim was whisked off for testing. CAT scans confirmed the presence of gallstones and inflammation in her gallbladder. Kim was taken into the OR to have her gallbladder removed, a common procedure that usually takes less than an hour.
3.5 hours went by. The doctors finally walked into the door, and their heads were bowed. They basically were telling me that she had a 5% chance of living.
During surgery, doctors were shocked to find that Kim had acute pancreatitis and a blood clot in her lungs. Her kidneys and liver were also failing. She was in a coma and put on a respirator.
I know, and I could see it in their faces, that they even felt that there were so many complications that they didn't even know all the answers. And my emotions were just all over the place. And clutching Kim's Bible, I would go to the chapel and pray, God, you can't let her pass away and leave me behind with these two boys. She completes the family. We have these children because of our love for one another. You gave us this miracle of children. I now need another miracle. I need a miracle for Kim to stay here. Please answer my prayers. No matter how much the doctors would tell me, I still felt I had to believe something else, and prayer was what got me through this.
Other friends and family members started prayer chains that snowballed into countless groups praying for Kim around the globe. Even Kim's doctor prayed for his patient.
I'll never forget my first meeting with her husband, Wes, and that I came into the ICU, and the first thing he says, you have to save my beautiful wife, doctor. And this is a healthy, vibrant young lady who was just dying in the other room. There's no other way to describe it except that. And I felt powerless. So I went home that night, and my wife could sense that I was a little bit concerned, and so we talked about it. I told her the whole scenario, and Suzanne said, this is something we have to specifically pray for Kimberly. We have to specifically pray for her, ask for a specific intervention on the part of the Lord, and so we did.
But as Dr. Mullins returned the next day, Kim's condition was worse. Dr. Mullins decided a final high-risk surgery was one of his last options.
The time was right around 10:45 when we started moving her to the operating room.
The moment Dr. Mullins' scalpel penetrated Kim's abdominal wall, a flood of fluid rushed from Kim's body. Kim had undergone a rapid decompression of her abdomen.
When you release that, the pressure goes down and you never get these people back. There were 4 good doctors in that room, and each one of us thought the same thing was going to happen.
But suddenly, Kim's body did the opposite of what everyone expected.
She had shown a complete reversal from what we thought we were going to see. By the time Monday rolled around, she was off the ventilator. Her liver functions were back to normal. Her kidney functions were back to normal. She had no arrhythmia problems. She had no more pulmonary problems. And she came out of the coma with no problems whatsoever. It happened exactly as we asked the Lord to do it. And that had a profound effect on me.
Several days later, Kim was able to see her boys for the first time. On August the 10th, Wes and Kim, Kyle and Corey were all at home.
It was overwhelming. I don't know how to even describe, as I heard more and more people that had prayed for me. And I would not be here if people didn't pray for me. I mean, it's so clear that God used this as a moment to say, look at what I can do.
He clearly was the healer here. He clearly did all the magnificent miracles.
Today, 16 years later, everyone in the family is happy and healthy and still celebrating the miracle that God gave them years ago.
There's not a day or a morning I wake up that I don't thank God for answering our prayers. Not just my prayers, but all the others worldwide that prayed for Kim. Keep your faith. The odds were against her, but a miracle happened in that OR room. Her body did totally the opposite of what medical textbook says. That's the power of prayer.